I know what you're going to choose.
Yeah.
You're going to say vampire.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the wrong answer.
Would you rather spend a night in a haunted house or a graveyard?
Oh, I hate mine.
Really? You were struggling. You
Yeah.
didn't write this until you got here.
Tiny bagpipes aren't real.
His heart sank at the sight. Cut up the cushion with a knife and fully unveiled the rats of giant insects. Oh.
You've written a really sick story, you know that?
Well, it's Halloween. Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Ghost Book Archive, Chapter 13, our very special Halloween episode. And as you can see,
Yeah.
we're rats.
Yeah.
You were supposed to join in.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Can you not chew your tail?
I'm not going to do that.
I can't. You're so boring. Where's your excitement? Where's your fun for this special episode?
Yay. Fun. We're rats.
Can you believe her? Can you believe this? Even the cat was just yawning at you. She was like, what are you doing?
No, she just wants to eat us right now.
Maybe. Yeah, she'll be jumping on these tails any minute. Today we have a few things planned. So we have rat-themed horror stories that we've both written, which I'm very excited to hear and also read my own. We have the cat's trying to escape this insanity. She's just banging on the window with her claws. She's like, let me out of here. Let me away from these horrific rats.
Wow.
Yeah. We also have TwoSentenceHorror, which is where we each had to write a horror story using only 2 sentences. So that'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also doing some spooky would you rather questions just for some fun as well. So where would you like to start?
Stories, maybe?
You want to start with stories?
Oh, 2-sentence horror, maybe.
2-sentence horror, okay.
Okay,
We'll do
2-sentence.
2-sentence horror. 2-sentence horror. I need to stop clapping. 2-sentence horror. That's where we're starting. Okay.
Clap. Fun, yeah.
Okay.
You can start. I'm excited to hear because
Can
you
I?
were kind of
Oh, I hate mine.
really? You were struggling. You
Yeah.
didn't write this until you got here.
This was the hardest part for me. Yeah,
yeah.
this was really... I suggested it as well, the 2-sentence horror, but I couldn't think of anything good. And eventually I wrote something and I'm not happy with it, but
Okay.
I will read it. 2-sentence horror. This is a very popular thing on Reddit. There's a subreddit for 2-sentence horror, which was kind of where I got the idea. That was my inspiration here. One of the most popular, maybe the most popular writing subreddit on Reddit, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway. And as I came up for air, I began to breathe. I didn't stop.
Didn't stop breathing?
Yeah, I didn't stop breathing. I just thought it was... Someone was drowning.
Yeah.
They've come up for air. So you could almost say the drowning is the horror. But they've come up and now they're breathing. But
Yeah.
they didn't stop breathing. So really the horror isn't the fact that we're drowning. The horror is the fact that they're still alive.
I get that.
It was... Yeah, I'm not happy with it at all.
I didn't get it really, but now that you explained, I get it. Like, oh shit, I'm breathing. Like, they wanted to drown instead, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
But they couldn't.
Yeah, someone saved them maybe. Or they came up for air.
Oh,
And they're still
dang,
having
you
to deal
saved
with...
me,
They're
you
still having
bitch.
to deal with life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the best I've heard, just
Yeah.
saying.
No,
but,
yeah, for sure.
but I get it. It's hard. 2-sentence horror. Like, what would make someone, like, feel spooked or scared from just 2 sentences?
Well, I'm sure I'll find out when I hear yours. But mine was...
Mine isn't that good. I like yours, but, like, it didn't make me feel, like, scared or anything. But I like the vibes. ASMR. Skeleton cat petting. ASMR. She just noticed I look weird. She was like, what the fuck do you got on your feet?
Yeah. Okay. Let me hear yours because, yeah, mine was awful.
Yep. Okay. You're gonna love this one.
Okay.
I mean, it's very on theme.
Okay.
The noises in the walls stopped for a while. When they came back, I realized it wasn't rats.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
It's kind of inspired by your little rat.
By my
wall
whole
story.
life story.
Yeah.
It's not my life story, but yeah.
Rat
Is
story.
that a story I need to tell? It's too long to tell. I can't tell that whole story.
Just tell a little.
The abridged version.
Yeah.
The abridged version is I thought I had rats in my walls at home. So I'm sitting there thinking night after night, I'm like, I can hear something moving around in my walls. I'm convinced there's rats. So I talk to my landlord. Out comes this rat man who's really creepy looking. He actually kind of looked like a rat. He asked me right away, he said, can I have a coffee? I said, sure, you can have a coffee. It was because it's kind of awkward to tell him no.
Yeah.
He gets this coffee scalding hot and he does this over the sink and just downs it. Boiling hot coffee, just right down in one gulp. And I was like, okay. So he gets on his ladder and he goes up and he goes to look for the rats and he comes down and he says, well, there's not that much evidence of rats being there, but there's a tiny little dropping. I found one dropping. So there has been something there. And so I will leave you with rat poison here, a few trays of it, just to put you at peace of mind, and I'll come back in a week. And I said, okay, perfect. A week went by. He didn't come back. He just never came back.
Yeah.
He just didn't come back over and over again, didn't come back. Suddenly it's like 6 months later, this man still hasn't come back. And I'm still hearing the noises in my walls. I'm still hearing it all over. But I also know that if it is rats, rats breed so fast, I'd be overrun with these damn things.
True.
And I'm thinking, and I'm going out to places, and I'm starting to joke with people. I'm like, oh, if you need anything, if you need to kill off someone you don't like, just let me know because I've got rat poison, I've got this, I've got that. And so then I start wondering, what if this man is actually framing me? What if he's a way to kill someone and then he's going to say it was him because he had rat poison as well. Anyway, I'm going way off track. But the whole thing, another guy eventually came out, another creepy weird guy came out, went and looked at my loft, and he said there's no signs whatsoever that rats have ever been there. Yeah, there's no rats here. He said apparently there had been rats, but one of my neighbors had rats, and they did deal with those, and for some reason there'd been really poor communication, and that's what, I don't know. Anyway, it later turned out I had lots of birds, and the birds I think are still there, and I can hear them, they're very loud. Birds aren't as bad as rats, but for a while I was wondering, you were like, what if it's a person? I saw this documentary, I saw this TV show, and there's people living in their lofts, and I was like, oh, well, thanks for that.
Yeah,
Coming down, like, I was like, is anything missing? Is anything out my fridge? Or is there like a family of immigrants in my loft? Like, what's happening here? But yeah.
Well, it's usually just one person who really likes trying to live in people's homes. That's why it works well, because nobody can like tell if they live in your walls or in your loft or
Yeah. But yeah.
Especially in the UK, I've heard.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's horrific. But that goes back to your story anyway.
Yeah.
And
so we have some sort of rat lore. That's why we're rats today.
Yeah. I mean, it just, there's a lot of rat lore. Constant rats.
Yeah.
I hate rats. Rats are disgusting little things. So yours was, what was your two horror again? I've forgotten it, but it was like, the noises were in the walls, but it wasn't rats.
Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah, I can't remember the first sentence. I know it was like, but it wasn't rats.
The noises in the walls stopped for a while. When they came back, I realized it wasn't rats.
Yeah, okay. I hate that.
Yeah, so it is kind of like creepy, I would say, even if it's just 2 sentences, right?
Yeah. Rats are horrible enough, but then to think, oh shit, it's not rats.
Then what is it?
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy with birds. I was like, birds aren't that bad, but if it wasn't birds, am I haunted?
A human.
A human.
Being haunted is better than it being some person living in your house, I think.
Maybe. I feel it, but at least a person, you can get rid of them. How do you get rid of a ghost?
There are ways. Sage. You can get like a medium to come and like bless your place.
I'm not sure I believe in any of that.
But you believe in ghosts?
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm undecided. Ask again tomorrow. So how did you feel about your 2-sentence horror?
I liked it.
You liked it? Definitely way better than mine. Yours was decent.
Thanks.
Yours was alright. Yours was good. I liked it.
I think it suited the theme today.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yours was on theme. Mine was just a mess. Mine was the only idea I could think of. I was struggling so hard for ideas. And then I was like, I got something. It's not great, but it's all I could think of. I'm like, you know what? That's just going to have to do.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, but it was good, like, for some type of, like, story, but it didn't, like, give me horror vibes.
Yeah.
That's the problem, but Otherwise, it could have been good for like a psychological thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess.
yeah.
That
Get
would
what
make
I
sense.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So rat story time.
Uh-oh. Mine is pretty short, so it's gonna be fine. It doesn't have a name. Oh my god, stop.
You're taking all the fun out of Halloween. It's supposed
Oh,
to be annoying and
damn.
creepy and freaky and gross.
That was very nice to yourself. Just kidding.
Wow.
Sounded like you were talking about yourself.
You're so rude today.
It's just because you have a rat costume on. You
Yeah,
hate
sure.
rats. You hate
Sure.
rats.
You're just, yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll just go.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
You hear about the rats in the sewers. The dirty street rats with snagged ears and red angry eyes. The rats living underneath your floorboards. You know about them too. You don't know about Dimal's rats, living inside his green sofa cushions, between the fluff and the springs. A family of rats cozied up in the warmth. Dimal knows about them, hears squeaks and feels them shuffling around when he sits down. The rats attracted a neighbor's cat. It would sit at the window, meowing until it was let inside. Just for a bit then, Dimal would sigh. The black cat leaping from the ledge, going right for the sofa while sniffing the air. The cat sometimes got inside on its own. He had the window open all summer, so the cat would waltz in as it pleased. He didn't know its name. It had no collar, but he'd seen it come out of his neighbor's apartment. The rats never came out, being supplied with the crumbs inside the couch. They'd eaten a fair share of the cushions as well. The rats didn't bother him. It was almost comforting having them there. The cat would lie on the couch next to him, waiting for the rats to come out to play, but they never did. The rats seemed in distress. He'd heard them all night, scratching and whimpering. He'd never invaded their home in the cushions, but one night he felt like something was gravely wrong. He picked up the cushion and began digging out the cotton. He picked up his flashlight and pointed it inside the cushion. He saw a cluster of perhaps 20 rats. The others screamed and writhed, seeming to be stuck. His heart sank at the sight. He cut up the cushion with a knife and fully unveiled the rats. He expected them to scatter around like bouncy balls, but they moved slow like a single organism instead of multiple. He realized the horror of it all. Their tails were all tangled up together in a large knot, the dead rats being dragged around by the live ones. He felt ill, nausea spreading through him as his brain throbbed against his skull. All of a sudden, he couldn't believe he'd let this creature stay with him, inside his home, where he would doze off with the rats right under his head. He backed away from the thing. The cat was meowing and scratching loudly at the window, with hunger in its eyes. He let it inside. Yep, that's it.
Is that like supposed to be one of those Rat King things?
Yeah, it's a rat king.
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate it.
I'm just imagining in my own living room if I pulled up one of my sofa cushions
Yeah.
and all that's there is just the
Rats.
inside's hollow and it's just rats and they're all moving together and coming out.
Like that, yeah. Very accurate.
I don't like it.
No, my goal was to make you very uncomfortable. Especially with the rat theme.
At the start, I wasn't. At the start, I was
Yeah.
like, this doesn't seem too bad. I'm like, this isn't too horrific. It's just, oh, the rats are coming inside and the cat's there and blah, 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 and it's going on. It's like, this isn't too bad. And then you get to the end and it's just, you open this thing up and it's just, there's a rat king. And I'm like, no,
There's
not a rat king. Take his crown and throw him in the fucking furnace.
Yeah.
Yuck. No, don't like.
If you don't know, a rat king is multiple rats that have their tails just tangled with each other, like in a knot, and they can't get free. So it's just horrific and poor rats. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many of them that end up together, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's like if you've got your computer and all your wires are under there, and
Yeah.
I mean, eventually they just end up tangled together, and it's a similar thing, I guess, with the rats. I'm glad I've never seen one in real life. Have you seen one?
No.
No, I'm glad I've not. It's so gross.
I hope it's kind of rare. I hope it isn't like a normal thing.
I don't think it's a normal thing. Does it actually happen, or is this just a thing in
It
fiction?
happens. It happens.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
For real. It's not fiction. but I don't know how often it happens.
So did you know exactly what you were going with from the start? Did you know that it was
No.
going to be a rat king?
No, I had
No.
no idea.
So you just started writing and it just flew at you?
Yeah, I didn't even know the rats in the cushions or anything. I started with the first sentences, you don't know about it, or like you know about the sewer rats and the street rats and all of those, but not the mouse rats.
Demols rats. I keep saying this, but you keep doing really good with the names. It's like Demal. That's like a standout name. I've never heard of anyone called Demal. I'll remember that name.
I think I've heard of someone called Demal. Maybe.
I was telling you yesterday, but I was thinking about this again today. I was in your shower earlier, and you've got this little thing, and it's like mugwort something. Mugwort mask. And it just keeps making me think of Morwort, which was what you called your little Gungra creature a few episodes back in our Monster Hunter episode. Yeah, and every time I've been in the shower now, I just going, "Hi, Morwort."
Hi, Morwort.
Yeah. Don't know if you've heard me say that, but maybe I just said it in my head. I don't know.
But you told me about that, yeah. The mugwort mask.
Morwort. Yeah. But yeah, you've been doing good with the names. Getting those names in there.
I'm trying, you know.
Yeah. That was a short one though. That was a short story.
Very short.
I
didn't feel like adding more.
Well,
I just felt
it left me wanting something else. I wanted something horrible to happen after.
Really?
I
implied the cat would go eat the.
But what if the cat doesn't eat it? What if the cat gets attacked by the rats and the cat loses?
Damn.
And the cat becomes part of the Rat King.
Yeah, you never know.
The cat's dead carcass.
Rat King.
Yeah, the cat's carcass becomes part of the Rat King.
Ooh. How? I don't know.
I don't know, it just gets tangled up somehow. And then it goes for the man, and then this whole Rat King's moving through the city, and it's just adding people onto it, it's adding everything, and suddenly it's like the size of a skyscraper. Yeah. And the world's going to have to bow down to the Rat King, or else they're all going to perish.
Good story. Write it.
No.
No. Okay.
It sounds very silly. It'd be like, Sharknado. You ever watch Sharknado or any of those things? Sounds kind of like one of those. Yeah. The worst one of those I saw was Monsternado. And it was like Sharknado, but on steroids. It was like, there was a dinosaur in there. There was a kraken. No. They had like all the monsters you can think of were inside this tornado going through the city. It was really ridiculous. And you had like people standing there with guns shooting at this tornado, trying to kill like Bigfoot who was inside it.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it was really stupid. That was one of the one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Sharknado is pretty stupid as well. I only saw like half of the first movie or something, because why would I watch more?
Yeah, I've never actually watched Sharknado. I've only seen clips, but I watched all of Monsternado, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm very excited to hear your story, though.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about yours? Is there?
No.
No? Just that's it. No, I've had enough of it. Had enough of my story.
I feel like it's just, it's not the best. It's just a little thing.
Yes, that's how I feel. I feel like it's too short to explore more. I feel like you've got some cool startings of an idea there, but it's like it's not quite long enough for me to dive into more, because it was just there's not enough happening. Yeah, I barely even like described the scenery. Yeah, which you normally do. You normally sew on top of that. Yeah, sometimes I just want to write it and get it done with, and that's what happens. Just a bit like basic, straightforward. Well, mine, I think, might be one of my best stories. Really? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Let's go. I've written, I think I told you from the start, my initial idea as soon as we were doing this rat-themed horror stories, I was doing body horror, because I love the body horror genre. So I definitely wanted to make a very skin-crawling type of thing. So okay, no title as per usual, but here we go. Dinner had always been a nightmare for Terence, but tonight it was a special kind of hell. His family sat downstairs, chattering away like chirping birds that had been dipped in madness-inducing custard. Meanwhile, Terence, well, he was rotting in the upstairs bathroom, trying not to gnaw on his own tail. It had started a week ago, innocently enough, with a rash on his back. Now, though, things had progressed into a full-blown metamorphosis. Terence clutched his stomach, leaning against the bathroom door. It was getting worse. His belly churned, feeling like 1,000 tiny legs were scurrying just beneath his skin. Every twitch sending another wave of nausea up his throat. He glanced down at his hand. It was barely a hand anymore. long bony fingers ending in black claws covered in patchy fur, and his nails, yellow and curling like dead things. They smelled like mold. He could feel them again, inside. The rats. Every time he swallowed, it felt like they were clawing up his throat, each bite of his insides pushing them closer to freedom. How had it started? He could hardly remember. A bite? A nibble in the night? Some strange encounter in the basement he hadn't told anyone about? "Terence, honey, are you coming down?" his wife Helen called from the hallway. "The soup's getting cold." "I'll be right there," he squeaked, wincing as his voice warbled unnaturally, like someone was wringing out his vocal cords. He could feel his teeth growing longer in his mouth, sharp and stained yellow. He gritted them together, not wanting to open his mouth too wide for fear he might screech like some alley rat trapped in a tin can. "They're gonna notice," he muttered to himself, hands trembling as he stared into the mirror at what was left of him. Tufts of greasy fur sprouted from his arms in patches, like moss that had decided to grow only where it wasn't wanted. His face, a hodgepodge of whiskers, bulbous eyes, and twitching lips, looked like someone had slapped a man and a sewer rat into a blender and hit puree. But absurdly, his face wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the tail, the thick, pink, twitching horror of a tail that had sprouted just below his spine and now slapped the bathroom floor in frustration, knocking over his wife's shampoo bottle with a wet thud. The rest of him might have passed for some disfigured, unfortunate creature, but the tail? That was unmistakable. The rats were getting louder inside him. He could feel them gnawing, biting at his ribs. Terence grabbed the sink with clawed hands, trying to focus, his mind starting to slip as the rats burrowed deeper into his body, making themselves at home. He could almost hear them now. He froze. They were laughing. No, whispering. High-pitched, tinny voices from within his own chest. "Terry, you're ours now. Why fight it?" It wasn't just whispers. It was conversations. The rats were debating things inside him. "Tiny bagpipes aren't real," one of them said smugly, scratching its way up his esophagus. "You just don't understand the size-to-sound ratio," another argued back. Terence glanced at the bathroom door. What would happen if he did go out there? Sat down at the table, maybe tore into some bread with his new crooked teeth. His father-in-law would probably raise an eyebrow, make some dry remark about his new look, and his wife would politely pretend nothing was wrong, like she did when he often tracked mud through the house. He could hear his mother-in-law cackling over something, probably another one of her ridiculous stories about how she once wrestled a goose in a parking lot for a half-price sandwich. God, how he wished that goose had won. "Terence!" Helen's voice sounded again, but closer now. Was she right outside? "You better not be eating without us." His stomach gurgled violently. He doubled over, retching into the sink. He coughed up something wet and gelatinous, a lump of fur-coated phlegm, slapping into the sink with a grotesque plop. Then it started again, and this time came something small and hairy. It wriggled in the porcelain, tiny claws scraping against the ceramic. He stared at it in disbelief. The rat looked back at him, sitting in the sink, its tiny whiskers twitching. "Hey," it said, in a voice that sounded remarkably like his mother-in-law. "Don't forget dessert." Terence recoiled, slamming his fist down on the rat, crushing it into a mess of fur and blood. But as soon as he lifted his hand, another one crawled up his throat, and then another. His mouth was overflowing with them, the squeaking, scurrying things spilling out, pouring onto the floor in a wave of writhing fur and teeth. "Terence, we're waiting!" Helen's voice was now cheerful, almost sing-song, as if nothing was out of the ordinary. Terence backed into the corner, watching as the rats multiplied, filling the bathroom, clawing over each other to escape the sink, the toilet, the cracks in the floorboards. His skin was beginning to tear. He could feel them underneath, wriggling their way out. They were going to burst through him any second now. His body was just a cage, a sack of flesh keeping them trapped inside. His mind, unable to cope, raced with absurdities, memories of the way his father-in-law picked his teeth at the dinner table, or how his brother-in-law once insisted that horseradish had healing properties because it smelled like hospitals. His chest split open with a wet, sickening sound, and out they came, dozens of rats, gnashing their teeth, tearing through his shirt, his skin, his bones. They scurried over him, leaving behind nothing but a mangled, empty husk. And yet, he was still conscious, still aware. He was in the rats now. All of them, part of them, 1,000 little voices in his mind, chewing, gnawing, laughing. Terence? Helen opened the bathroom door, her eyes wide and her face pale as she saw the rats swarming the room, filling every surface. Oh, she said, her voice as casual as ever. You've started without me. And then she smiled, a wide, toothy grin. 2 long whiskers twitched on her face as she calmly closed the door behind her, leaving Terence with his new rodent family.
Wow. Okay, that was more scary than anything, actually. Like, at least like twice or 10 times as scary as mine.
At least twice, no, 10 times. Okay.
I think rats inside someone is worse than rats inside a cushion.
Yeah.
I think so.
And him turning into the rat as well.
Oh my god.
I knew almost right away I was going to do something where this guy was somehow turning in or becoming rat-like. I just knew that from the start.
Damn. It's you right now. You're Terence.
I don't want to be Terence.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just let the cat eat me.
Wow.
I don't want to live like this.
Okay, that was a journey, a ride. I feel like you explained the...
I don't know what I'm doing.
Whee.
Yeah.
Okay.
A ride.
I feel like the explanations of him like turning into this thing and the rats coming out of him, super like descriptive, very, very good.
Actually, I was writing things and I was just thinking, what would make me sort of go ugh the most?
Yeah.
And that was like, I don't like how this sounds, so that means
Yeah.
it's gonna work. And it just kept going. Actually, when I wrote it, I wrote a couple of things a couple of times, and then I chose between a couple of versions of them.
Yeah.
Like I had a couple of different versions. Like originally, I wasn't sure if I wanted maybe he was going to come out to the dinner table.
Yeah.
And have it sort of end there, but he didn't do that. But yeah, I had a few things like that where I was like,
Yeah,
I ended
the
up just keeping
wife
it
just
to
coming in at the end, going like, "Oh, you started
yeah,
without me."
I had her
That
come
was-
in instead. Yeah, I changed that around.
That was also a plot twist I didn't expect. Like that's very. You imagine her going, what's going on? You know, but she was instead like.
She was actually somehow in on it.
Yeah.
She was
somehow,
transforming too. She had the whiskers.
Somehow.
Yeah, and then just he's become one with the rats at the end. It's like they've all come out of him. He's transformed, and now he is the rats. He is part of them. Yeah.
Crazy.
I hate the rats. It's so gross.
Oof.
And the little
Very
rat that he
horrific.
vomits into the sink, and it's just there, and he's like, "Hi." Yeah.
The rats talking as well, just being like happy and cute, you know.
Yeah, having a little argument while they're climbing up his throat to get out.
Oh, yeah. Feels nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I expected you to write something really gross, so you do like body horror, and like psychological crazy things.
Yeah.
So I expected you to go that direction, because especially with rats, you really hate rats. So yeah.
I felt like I managed to throw in some of the weirder, like absurd dialogue in there as well, which I pushed in because I do that quite a lot, and it's often things go a bit comedic, whereas I feel like I managed to throw it in where it was just a little bit weird. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Without taking you out of it too much, and it still had the whole craziness going on.
True.
Like when he was talking about how his mother-in-law told a story about how she had wrestled a goose in a parking lot for a half-eaten sandwich, and he was like, and I wish the goose had won type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was another part about I think it was his brother-in-law said that horseradishes could heal people because they smelled like hospitals.
No, I love that you included
Yeah.
some little bits about his life or his family or his like more unique thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just explaining the events, you did a lot of good like explaining.
Yeah.
Even with the wife and yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy with how that one turned out. I was like, I'm actually quite happy with it. because
Yeah, you should write
no,
what happens next, even though he's in the rats.
I don't know. I feel like that one's good where it ends. I feel like that just. I think
It
that's
is,
all it
though.
needs to be. Yeah.
It is though. It's really good.
That could be like a really horrible animated short film.
True. Good job. I'm really impressed.
I feel cool. I feel like I did better with my descriptions in that as well, because I mean there was very minimal dialogue, so it was all about descriptions for that really.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes where I struggle a little bit. So I feel like I did better with some of the descriptions because I
You
was focusing on
did.
that.
You really did.
Yeah.
I feel like you really focused on the descriptions rather than the dialogue this time,
Mm-hmm.
which might be a bit what you usually don't.
Yeah, I usually do the other way. I find the descriptions harder usually. So, but I felt it was kind of easier just because I didn't really describe what Terrence himself looked like before his transformation. I didn't really describe the bathroom or any of the surroundings, but
Sure.
I was describing the thing he was going through.
Yeah.
I know,
Well.
but I would almost argue that in some ways makes it a little more unnerving because it could be anyone in that way,
True.
because you don't know what this person looks like. So it could be any guy. It
True.
could be you. You could put yourself in there because there isn't really a description of who he is. So then you could kind of see it a little bit more as being more people. I don't know. That's me just, I didn't think about that while I was writing it, but just giving myself excuses. But yeah, no, I was happy with that one overall. It was over the word count we were supposed to do. I think that was like 1,100. I think the max was supposed to be like 800.
Yeah.
So I went way over, but
That's fine.
yeah.
Rules are made to be broken.
Tell me a rule. Go.
No. What?
No.
No socks in sandals.
I was trying to break a rule and I don't have any sandals. That's not going to work. I was like hoping you would say some rule so I could be like, well, and it's broken.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now.
You could have just made some stupid like, don't clap 4 times and say hello. Hello. That's so stupid. I'm gonna cry.
Hell.
You could be like, don't steal my ears, and I could have just gone, pulled your ears.
These ears.
No, I'm touching my face. I'm itchy. Ew.
Stop touching your face. You've got makeup on.
I had to scratch.
Like a rat. You're turning into actual.
I am. I'm turning into Terrence, as you said. You're so done with this, aren't you?
With that.
Just your face. You're like.
I just don't know what to say to
I
that.
just don't know what to say to that.
Okay.
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 Do you want to try some questions?
Yeah, we're moving on from this story time. Story time? We're moving on from the stories.
Yeah.
And we have some would you rather questions.
Spooky.
That was my spooky voice.
Yeah.
What would you rate that on a 1 to 10?
Spooky. Your spooky voice?
Yeah.
5.
She's so horrible to me today. I mean,
It didn't sound very scary. You sound like more like some type of Animal Planet narrator, you know?
the rat is sitting on the couch. She nods her head and contemplates life. She swings her arm. Oh my god, she's shooting at me! She's got a gun!
He's got a gun!
Dive!
Whoa. Don't dive.
Don't dive or don't die?
Both.
Okay.
Would you rather spend a night in a haunted house or a graveyard?
Graveyard.
Really?
Yeah.
What? That's basically like haunted but outside.
But there's no, because we've taken walks through graveyards. I've been in graveyards before. I don't find graveyards particularly scary. They're kind of morbid and depressing.
Yeah.
But you're outside, and I feel like they're not that bad. Especially, I mean, are we on our own, or is like what's this whole thing? I feel like in a haunted house, you specifically know it's haunted.
I think you have to be alone for this to work.
Okay.
You're all alone.
But have you ever heard any bad stories about people being like, I was in the graveyard and something came and tried to kill me?
Yeah. That's a common trope.
Really?
Yeah. It's like yeah.
If you say so.
I say so.
So you would choose the haunted house?
Yes.
Hmm.
Because it's cute and pretty.
It's cute? Oh,
Like,
fuck
I
off,
imagine
no.
like an old mansion type of vibe.
Yeah, no, that's
kinda
creepier.
nice.
That's creepier. I'd be more scared in the haunted house. At least in the graveyard, I feel like I can run away.
No, because I feel like spiders and gross things, and you would have to sleep outside.
I'll just not sleep all night.
You have to try and sleep.
But that wasn't in the rules. You're just making this up as you go along. You said I have to spend the night. Okay, I'll spend like 12 hours there. Easy. I can stay awake.
Fine. Okay. No,
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a house then.
Yeah, sure you would. Of course. Would you rather be chased by a zombie or a vampire? I know what you're going to choose.
Yeah.
You're going to say vampire.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the wrong answer.
I think you were gonna say zombie. Yeah.
I am.
Because
And
they're slow.
yeah, you think zombies are so horrible and it's awful, but the vampire is going to catch you because they've got super speed. If the zombie's chasing you, you can just run away.
But I wouldn't mind being caught by a vampire.
Well, you would if you're fucking dead.
Would be a cool death.
Not if no one's around to see it.
Damn it. True. I'll take my chances on becoming a vampire. If it bites me, I might like survive and become a vampire.
You're a fool. You are a fool.
Would you rather you'd become a zombie if it catches you?
But it's not going to catch me. I'm like the Flash.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather turn into a werewolf every full moon or be a vampire forever?
Vampire forever.
Same.
Yeah. There's no way. Why would you want to turn into a werewolf every filming? Because like werewolves lose control of themselves and where they are and stuff. So like there's so much danger and uncertainty to that. At least a vampire just know who I am. And I mean the werewolf, that's still for life as well. Once every month you're going to lose control of yourself. I'd rather be the vampire and have the cool powers and be immortal. I'd be pretty happy with that.
I already got my period, so when I lose control every month, yeah.
Okay.
No, just kidding.
Fair point. Would you rather get lost in a creepy corn maze or be stuck in a haunted elevator?
Elevator. Definitely elevator.
I think I'm taking the elevator too. I feel like the creepy corn maze would be much scarier.
Yeah?
I've never been stuck in an elevator. Have you ever been stuck in an elevator? Has it ever broken down on you?
No.
I have a friend who says that she gets that happening to her a lot. I'm like,
a lot?
How?
How can it happen
I'm like, how? I've never had this happen to me my entire life. Yeah. And you're like, are you just cursed every time you walk into an elevator? The elevator man's out to get you or something? Like, what do you mean you've been in multiple elevators? Like, I don't get that. But yeah, I think I would rather be in the...
Maybe if you have an elevator in your apartment block and you take it down and up like several times a day, and that elevator stops a lot.
Sure, so there's something wrong with that specific elevator.
Yeah. Then you would have to like experience.
But I don't think she meant that. I think she meant like just elevators in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she meant it was the same one. I could be wrong.
You know, I don't want to be in a corn maze. Sounds bad.
Same. Yeah.
Even though I love like scarecrows.
But that's where someone's coming to stab you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Would you rather be invisible to ghosts or be able to talk to them?
I might just be invisible to them. I think I'm going to choose invisible to them.
Really? That's boring.
Yeah.
I want to talk to them.
What if they're evil?
Then I'll know because I'm talking to them.
But now you're definitely going to know that they're there.
Yeah, but if they're there, I'd rather know that they're there than not know that they're there.
See, I don't know if I would. Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
True, but like, imagine if I could have some ghost friends as well. Even if there's some evil ones.
True.
I could deal with, like, if I have them on my side, you know?
I get that. Would you rather have bats flying around your house or rats living in your walls?
Bats. I like bats. They're one of my favorite animals.
But they're going to make a mess. I mean, so are the rats. I think I'll choose the bats. I feel like they're easier to get rid of.
Yeah, like if you have actual bats in your...
I'll just open the window and the door and just like whoosh them out. Done.
Yeah, like
Bye.
take some kind of like bed sheet and just whoosh, take them, you know?
Sure.
No? Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Sure. I like bats. Would you rather eat a paste? A paste? Why can't I think or talk? Okay.
You want to eat paste?
Would you rather eat a piece of candy that might be cursed or a cookie baked by a witch?
I might go with a witch's cookie.
Same. Witches are cool.
Well, no, but they might have done something to it.
So, I like them.
Maybe they don't like you.
Then I'll take my chances. Like, imagine, like, you could either get something good or bad with the cookie. But the candy is just, it's candy, but it could be cursed. You don't know. Witches could turn you
But it could be a good
cool.
curse.
A good curse? Aren't curses like bad?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we're going with the witch. Would you rather find yourself stuck in a room full of spiders or snakes all Halloween night?
Snakes. Easy.
Depends if they're poisonous.
I don't care.
If they're poisonous, I'll take the spiders.
Spiders can be poisonous too.
True. If they're okay, say they're all non-poisonous, then I'll go with the snakes.
But what if they are poisonous, all of them?
Then I'll probably go with the snakes.
So snakes, anyways.
Yeah, because I feel like it's easier to avoid a poisonous snake than a poisonous spider, especially if there's a lot of them.
Also, snakes are cute. Spiders are gross.
Snakes are not as fast as spiders, so it's okay.
Would you rather be cursed to only speak in spooky rhymes or only be able to whisper like a ghost?
Spooky rhymes.
That would be so stupid all the time. Like,
but so with the whispering like a ghost.
I already speak like kind of
Hello.
low.
Not like a ghost though.
Okay. Not like a ghost. Okay. I think I would whisper like a ghost anyways.
Okay.
Spooky rhymes, like only spooky rhymes. People would hate me.
I could make a whole career out of that.
True. Like, yeah.
I could be the spooky rhyme man. This is my spooky
Yeah, but
rhyme.
does that require you have to like come up with all the spooky rhymes yourself?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or does it just
that's a good question.
Yeah, because if you always have to like come up with some spooky rhymes every time you speak, that's gonna be kind of hard mentally as well.
ChatGPT is gonna speak for me.
Damn.
Hey, that rhymed.
It does?
ChatGPT is gonna speak for me.
Oh, damn.
I'm on it already. I've got
Spooky
there.
rhymes.
Yeah.
You could be a rapper already. The spooky rapper.
Would you rather be friends with a talking skeleton or a friendly ghost?
Friendly ghost.
I think I'll go with the ghost as well. It feels more useful. If you're friends with a talking skeleton, like that's not going to last very long. Someone's going to come along and steal your talking skeleton. He's going to get thrown in a museum somewhere. Hello, little guy.
He's trying to be friends.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not doing very nice arm gestures. He's like doing Nazi salutes. What the hell?
Say that?
But he doesn't have elbows.
True.
What's wrong with his elbows?
He's a skeleton.
I'm sure he
He
is.
lost his elbows.
He's not that friendly.
No. Would you rather have to solve a mystery in a haunted mansion or survive the night in a zombie apocalypse?
Well, I know which one you're choosing. Definitely the
Yeah.
mansion. And
Yeah.
anything with zombies, just immediately no for you.
Yeah, because zombies.
I think I might choose the mansion as well, simply because I feel like it's less dangerous.
Yeah.
If you're solving a mystery in a haunted mansion, it's like you're actually like doing a mystery. It's not like you're being haunted or you're a victim. You're actually
True.
there solving a mystery. It may be creepy,
Yeah.
but you're there solving a mystery. Surviving the night of zombie apocalypse. I mean, I don't know how many zombies are out there. It's going to be much more difficult.
Yeah, so you're also choosing the mansion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the safer option, I believe. Would you rather always hear creepy whispers when you're alone or see shadows moving in the corner of your eyes?
Shadows.
Yeah, I think I'm going to choose shadows. They're both pretty awful, but...
Because seeing things, I often see things and it's like, oh, it's nothing. But hearing things, that's more creepy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I dreamed you up, like your entire self.
Well, I think you would have had to. There's no way I can be real.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather like see something creepy than hear something creepy. This is stupid, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Would you rather have a pumpkin for a head or be wrapped in mummy bandages forever?
I've got to take the bandages.
Same.
I'm not.
That was kind of easy.
I don't want a pumpkin as my head. Is my head going to rot away? What if like some animal comes and eats my head?
Ew.
Yeah. Would you rather drink a potion that makes you invisible for an hour, or one that lets you talk to the dead for an hour?
Invisible.
Yeah, I'll go with invisible as well. What would you do with your hour of invisibility?
Oh my god, I could do so much. I just probably go steal some shit.
Everyone hearing this, we have it on record. If she ever turns invisible,
Walk in, take some shit. Why
Fair.
not? Would you rather be invited to Dracula's castle or to Frankenstein's lab for dinner?
I feel like I'm safer at Frankenstein's lab, but I'm going to choose Dracula's castle because it just seems cooler.
Same. Though I love Frankenstein. Well, not the guy. I love the monster.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're having dinner with the
guy.
scientist guy.
Yeah.
And I don't care about him.
He's boring.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
So I'll do Dracula.
Would you rather be cursed to live forever or die young?
Live forever.
Same. Easy.
Yeah. Because there must be some way to die even though you live forever. Don't you think? At some point?
No, you're going to, even when the Earth's gone, you're just floating through the void.
Hmm.
Forever.
Shit. I'm not sure anymore. But for vampires, it's like stake to the heart.
But we're not saying vampire.
I don't know. Okay. Well, I'd still live forever, I guess.
Same.
Would you rather face a plague of demonic creatures or a swarm of giant insects? Oh, I guess we're done.
So I think what happened there was those demonic creatures rushed us.
True.
So I'm going to say, no, I'm not dealing with the demonic creatures. I think that's a bad idea because we just saw what they're capable of, knocking over the camera, doing bad things to us.
Yeah.
So we won't do that one. We'll go with the giant bugs. As disgusting as that is.
Giant bugs.
Gross bugs. Almost as gross as... Where's my tail gone? Oh, there it is. Hello, little tail. We didn't have any tail fights.
I don't want to have a tail fight. No.
Yeah. Thank you for watching our very special Halloween episode.
Yeah. We post every single week, as you know, every Wednesday. And we have cool special episodes sometimes. We have guests sometimes. Like this guy. Please subscribe to us and keep watching. Bye.
Check out all of our links at ghostbookarchive.com.
Did you just turn into a rat?
A rat? Terrence?
Terrence.
High five. What's going on with him?
He's just dying back there.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Okay.
Okay.
We're done. We're done.
Yay!